Well, should look down there first. We're good. All right, good evening all. Welcome to our October 10th City Commission Committee of the Whole meeting. So first thing we'll tackle, are there any questions on the expenditures for 27 million? Okay, seeing none. Next will be the 3101 Fruit Ridge LLC, the Industrial Development District. I'm going to take that one.
Well, I'll do what I can. Do we have anybody in the audience who's representing that site? 3101 Fruit Ridge? It's, no?
For Honeycrisp, no?
Honeycrisp, west side of Fruit Ridge Avenue, property that's been for sale forever. Or been there forever, recently went for sale, and now is going to switch over.
And they might be showing up for the 7 o'clock meeting too, so.
They might, but just to put it in a nutshell for you, folks have two steps to your industrial facilities tax exemption under PA 198. The first step is to establish the district, which is the box essentially, and that's what you're being asked to do tonight. The second step is when the project starts to move through Planning Commission, gets approval, and has all the details together, then you will see the actual request for a tax abatement. So this tonight is just establishing the box around the property. So no commitments from the city, it's just establishing the district.
And I'll open up the hearing, anybody wishing to speak on it, which may or not be, but one of the misnomers too, there's a Fruit Ridge address and there's a 3 Mile address as part of this, so that's one thing. And the plan right now is to construct a 200,000 square foot building on that, which the business, they've not had problems filling.
No, it'll go quickly.
City, so. Okay, any questions on that? All right. Second, next is nobody from assessing here, the property tax records inspection. And this, I do remember the email little chain on that. There's a brief summary of this is basically getting us in state compliance, some regulatory changes and wording that we needed to have done. So this is kind of a necessary check the box from that end of it. And then we have Winchester Woods Phase 3, the final plat. Do you want to, is there anything you want to tee up, or should I have Randy give any background on ask on this one?
Randy's here, so why don't we have Randy fill us in?
All right.
I'll put a copy of the map up.
Okay. And Randy, as you come up, would you mind please hitting the button? That red light should come on there. On the microphone piece thing. There we go, perfect.
Got it.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, this is the final plat. It's gone through preliminary. It's gone through construction drawing approval. It's built. And now it's just getting it ready to record with the state so we can sell lots. It's pretty straightforward. It matches what we had received approval for previously. So this is the last step before I send it to the state.
Okay.
And just so you know, and Steve, you feel free to chime in from the Planning Commission standpoint, there are 3 steps in our plat review process, and this is the 3rd step. So the Planning Commission's already done their work, approved the layout, approved the lots, approved the drainage, all of that. The roads have been constructed and already accepted by the city. You did that, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now this is just the final stamp to say, we're ready for building permits, and I think there's some that are waiting to come in, so you'll see some homes come in. So this is the last official step in the plat process.
Those are those final 4 lots.
There are actually 28 lots, right?
Well, on the map. Sorry.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That there's a multiple page set here. Mm-hmm. We can go through this if you want, but I would have you look at that where it says sheet index. And there are, it's on the left side. Let me put the cursor over it. This is what what this phase 3 looks like.
54 through yep. 76.
So the connection to Shannon has been made, which I think is a good thing. That was a long time coming. You've got some redundancy now. And you have 28 lots for single family homes that subject to final approval by the state, will be ready for building permit applications.
Yep. And in the packet, we've got multiple pages with all the different lots on there if you need to zero in on anything. Is there any questions from the commission for Randy at all?
Nope.
And this came through planning, good, so this is the final step.
Yeah, I think we've just been glad to see us get to the conclusion of this one. Winchester Woods has been good from the planning commission level, so we've been
Yep.
pretty happy with how it's all kind of moved through.
I like the connection to Shannon, so. Any concerns on this one? Okay, so we should be good there. Cool, thanks, Randy. And then next on the list is our first reading, the rezone for Lewis Farms. We'll have to make a motion to remove this from the table because we tabled this at the August 22nd meeting. So I'll make that motion first. I'll need motion and support on that one. And then we will get into the rezone request there. And that's actually our PUD 2 on the agenda. The ordinance itself is right. It's just the agenda had a 1 instead of a 2 there. So key thing is the ordinance that'll be signed and documented is the correct one. Any questions on that or concerns?
And Brandon Visser sent a PowerPoint presentation modified from what he gave at the Planning Commission. So I'm expecting him to be here and give that presentation to you folks.
I expect that Brandon probably will show up at 7.
I told him 6:30, but that's okay. We'll roll.
Yeah,
You know.
all right. And then secondly is Northridge West project. Any background on that one, Frank?
Yep, this is another industrial park project. And I see the representative for Lot 2 is here. So if you have questions for this one, feel free. This is the Schwalier Farm. If you remember, 2 or 3 years ago, you folks put together a 1-lot special assessment to have the road built. So the road has obviously been built and connected, and now the Schwaliers are coming in to rezone the entire property to IPUD, which is consistent with the master plan and consistent with what's going on to the east and the west. The property extends from 4 Mile Road almost to the railroad tracks. And there are multiple lots that are proposed on this site. They're preliminary until we get the final area site plan application, and we have received the final area site plan application for Lot 2. And that's, Mike is in the audience to talk about that if you want to. That item will be on the Planning Commission agenda on the 19th. So again, another new industrial park, and it's in the right spot, and it's fully improved, and you're going to see these lots fill fairly quickly. But tonight, the City Commission is being asked to do the first reading on the rezoning. We accepted the final area site plan for Lot 2 with the caveat to the developer that no building permits can be issued until the rezoning is official, if the rezoning becomes official. If it does and there's no bumps in the road, that should be in early November. So that's what the overall plan looks like at this point. Obviously, there's a lot of topography on this site, and there are some challenges to that, and they're still working out some of their stormwater management and where and how they're going to do that. But there are additional lots that will most likely fill in here as well. So up to 7 is what they're proposing. And remember, Amazon is right here. So whatever we do or whatever comes in the door, we've already said that the landscaping treatment along 4 Mile will have to match what Amazon did. We tried to be very careful with that and create a good looking frontage, so that will carry over on this site, which is directly across from this, a little bit down from the school. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're trying to do some aesthetic treatment on 4 Mile as well.
And I would expect that this is, as you had mentioned, I mean, this is going to start to, the dominoes are going to fall pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Very desirable land up there, so. Commissioners, any questions either for Frank or for Mike if we need him to come to the podium? Questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none left to right. All right, so we're good there. Why don't we go ahead? It is 6:40. We'll turn over, let's do Commissioner Manager comments. Frank, if you are ready, we'll start down with you.
Sure. Well, I'm wearing 4 hats, so we've got a variety of things going on, but I think the big issue for the Community Development Department is we're in process of holding interviews for our new planning director. And we had 4 applicants that we selected for interviews. We did 1 today, we have 3 tomorrow. So we're hopeful that we can get 2 of those 4 for a second interview, and that will be more interactive with the department and get down to the details of what that position is all about. A lot of deadlines, a lot of moving parts, and so we want to make sure that people actually see what the working environment is. So that's going very well. And that's really the big takeaway from me at this point. So I'll hand it over to the next in line, Commissioner Duchesne.
Thank you, Frank. I just want to say that I thought the city did a great job on Pumpkin Bash. You couldn't have better weather. All smiles, no tears, maybe a few tears with the little ones that got tired after a while, but even the bees weren't as bad by the donuts and the ciders as we've had in the past, but really great attendance, and I think every year it just gets more and more, I don't know, it just gets more and more popular, and what a great representation of our city.
Said?
I just second what Roxanne said about the pumpkin bash. It was great to see everyone there, and Jessica and I served out a lot of donuts that day.
They were good, too.
Yes, we had a lot of people asking where the donuts were from.
That was a great turnout. Awesome. Coming your way.
I would say that the donuts were fabulous. I felt it was important to do quality control, so I did try some. They were great. We had a great turnout. It was amazing how many people were there. It was just everything was absolutely phenomenal.
Good, thank you. Commissioner Babcock?
Common theme here. Just want to shout out Mary Kay. I think she did a great job planning that and pulling it all together. So thanks to her.
All right. Commissioner Gilbert?
Just a couple items I'll touch on. We did have a zoning ordinance subcommittee meeting, so continuing the conversation on our zoning ordinance update, and had some thorough discussion on housing. I think there will probably be some follow-up required from that group, and probably Frank, you'll hear the back end of that one. So looking forward to continuing to have that conversation evolve and how we're talking about housing. On that thread, Mayor and I did sit down with the folks at the GR Chamber and have a conversation about housing developments in the city, and just kind of, I guess, continuing to be thoughtful and forward-thinking about the amount and the way that we're developing some of these lots, and being sure that we're considerate of how that housing stock in West Michigan is kind of developing, and where our role is to play in that. The other thing, we did have Planning Commission, and the tidal wave car wash did get denied at the Planning Commission level. So something very rare. I've only done it probably a couple times in my many now years of serving on the Planning Commission. So we'll see what happens with that site moving forward, and here's hoping things move forward in a way that's productive, at least.
Yep, good stuff. Thanks. Madam Clerk?
Yeah, so the biggest thing going on in the clerk's office right now is we are preparing for the upcoming election. It's taking up most of our time. We sent out all of the absentee voter ballots that were requested on November 29th. That was 4,765 ballots that we mailed out, and so far we've received just over 800 back already. So we're receiving applications every day, mailing out ballots every day to those that are requesting them. The other thing is, this Thursday at 10 o'clock in here in the Commission chambers, we are holding the public accuracy testing, which is, we went through last week and tested all of the election equipment. So we will do the public accuracy testing in here on Thursday.
All right. Last to me, it's been a little while since the last meeting. We actually, Commissioners Gilbert and Burke and myself met with the new family members from LaFontaine Ford, and good discussion just about them getting more involved with the community and what their plans are, so we're aligned there. I'm trying to think what else. I think that was of the major stuff. That was it from the meetings right now. There's a number of potential development meetings that we've had. some business expansion stuff. Met on one this afternoon on site with the business, and excited about that and the opportunity to bring some significant jobs, an expansion of the business. Hopefully we'll hear about that soon. And I think that's it. I haven't touched anything else yet. Pumpkin Bash is awesome. Just appreciate the support from police and fire, Public Works had everything together. And then we also had Saturday, had the Trevor Slot 5K run out here as well. A little colder, Chief would agree with that. So we were hiding back by the barrel warmer, but good time nonetheless, and that went off. And I just, when you have morning soccer up here, and you have there was a lot going on with the ice arena with hockey that morning, and then we have a 5K run. It was, and you have to close part of remembrance. Just hats off to PD and Public Works getting things lined up to where it wasn't a major inconvenience for people in the city. So we managed to juggle all that. That is all I have on mine. I don't see anybody else coming in on the topics that we needed, so we are at 6:46. If there's nothing else for the good of the order, we'll take about a 14-minute adjournment before we start back up. right, 7 o'clock, I'll call our regular city commission meeting to order for Monday, October 10th, 2022. I'd like to invite Commissioner Groders to please deliver the invocation, lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, will you pray with me for just a moment? Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening, thankful for our many blessings, and we ask for your presence and guidance as we work together on behalf of our city. Please give continued protection to our public safety staff and all who work to protect our freedom. We ask especially for strength and protection for so many in Florida who are suffering and who have all lost so much. Guide our decisions this evening. Remind us why we are here. Help us to remain humble and kind and committed to what is best for our community. And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you. I'd like to invite everybody to stand and join us for Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. If I could please ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mayor Carey,
Present.
Commissioner Gilbert, Commissioner Babcock,
Present.
Commissioner Groders,
Present?
Commissioner Chase,
Present.
Commissioner DeShane.
Present.
And if I could have an approval for an excused absence for Commissioner Burke,
So moved.
Support.
Gilbert, I heard Groders to my left, or to my right, sorry. It was yours? It was yours? Okay, all right, all right. I'll give you one back here. All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, next on the list is the meeting minutes from September 26, 2022. Is there any discussion on the minutes? If there is none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Thank you, Commissioner DeShane. Commissioner Chase, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, next on the list is a public hearing for the Industrial Development District for 3101 Fruit Ridge HCV LLC. I would like a motion to open the public hearing, please.
So moved.
I'll support.
Commissioner Gilbert, Commissioner Chase, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, anybody wishing to speak on the public hearing for the Industrial Development District at 3101 Fruit Ridge, please come forward to the microphone. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Support?
Commissioner DeShane, Commissioner Groders, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you all. Next is any public comment on agenda items. If anybody has any, in the public, has any comment on agenda items only, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll move forward to the consent agenda. First, or actually the only thing on the list is the expenditures in the amount of $27,361,573.15. Are there any questions on the bills for the pay period? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Babcock,
I'll support.
Commissioner DeShane, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, we're good. Next, first is the resolution 22-639, the Industrial Development District for 3101 Fruit Ridge, HCV Honeycrisp Ventures LLC. Is there any, we discussed this at our 6:30 committee of the whole meeting. Is there any questions on the minutes? Or I'm sorry, the resolution? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support then.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
I'm going to give that one to Commissioner DeShane, close. Commissioner Chase, Commissioner DeShane, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Resolution 22-639 is passed. Next on the list is Resolution 22-640. This is to adopt the property tax records inspection, release, and assessing department accessibility policy. As we discussed at the 6:30 meeting, this is some of the cleanup with the state regulations and updates that we need to have. I don't think we have anybody from assessing. Seeing none, is there any other discussion on this? All right, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
So moved.
Commissioner Gilbert, Commissioner Babcock, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, next on the list is the Resolution 22-641 is the Winchester Woods Phase 3 Final Plat. We received some background from Randy Feenstra at the 6:30 Committee of the Whole meeting representing Winchester Woods. Is there any discussion, further discussion on Resolution 22-641? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Commissioner Chase, Commissioner Groders. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, we're good there. Next on the list is the motion, before we get into ordinance 22-521, is the motion to remove Lewis Farms from the table. This was on our August 22nd meeting for the City Commission. We tabled this, so I'll need a motion first to remove this from the table.
Motion to remove it from the table.
Commissioner Gilbert,
Support.
Commissioner Groders, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
At the same time.
All right, we've removed it from the table. Now, next is the first reading, the rezone request from MPUD to CPUD and RPUD 2, which the ordinance is correct, the agenda just had a number off. So I'll restate that one. So this is ordinance 22-521. This is the first reading for the rezone from MPUD to CPUD and RPUD 2 for Lewis Farms at 1500 Wilson Avenue Northwest. Is there any discussion on ordinance 22-521? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
So moved.
Commissioner Groders,
Support.
Commissioner Babcock. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. Ordinance 22-521 is passed. Thank you. Next is ordinance 22-523 is the first reading of the IPUD rezoning for Northridge West project at 3410 4 Mile Road. And I know there's another piece to that. So Mike is here if we have any questions for him representing the development. Is there any discussion or questions we have? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner DeShane.
Support.
Commissioner Gilbert. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ordinance 22-523 is passed. Next is any other public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. Anybody wishing to speak may come forward. If you have come forward, please state your name and your address.
Good evening, Al Parent, 2349 Glen Valley. Over where my shop is over at Alpine and 3 Mile, there's 2 bus stops, one on each side of the street. I've been meaning to bring this up for a while, but there's not any benches for the people. And I'm seeing people that are, elderly or they're big people, and they have to sit down on the ground or the sidewalks. And it just doesn't seem right in our city that we shouldn't have some benches for people that are waiting for a bus. So I don't know who's, if it's the mayor that's with the Grata board or Rapid or whatever, but you are? Okay. Oh, I don't, but anyway, if that could be looked into, I think, the residents that are using the bus stops would, with winter coming too, are they gonna have to sit down in the snow? I mean, I even thought of making a bench, I looked around my shed one day for some lumbers. I didn't have anything suitable, but I thought, this isn't good to see these people sitting on the ground or on the sidewalk. So if anything could be done, that'd be great. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment on agenda items or non-agenda items? Seeing none, we've covered Commissioner City Manager comments. I'll go around the horn left to right quick. Anything else for the good of the order? All right.
If I can just
Commissioner
quickly on
Gilbert. Yep, go ahead.
the bench issue. That is something that I've had similar concern. We had some we had some benches at my bus stop, or at Roger and Alpine, that were in poor condition. We called and went through the process. It's all a third-party vendor through the Rapid contract that they use to put those benches up. And when they were taken down, they didn't get replaced. Some of them along Alpine are in a state of great disrepair. I think that what we found is there are some challenges with the spatial allotments along that Alpine Avenue corridor that don't make for a good location for some of these benches that can be placed safely and securely for folks to be sitting on. And I think there's a lot of liability concerns and things like that. I've been having some conversations with the folks at the Rapid about getting some more of those locations outfitted with simple benches, but it's a process getting all of those things lined up appropriately to make that available and accessible for the folks riding the bus. But just for the awareness that it is an issue that there is some awareness of and some conversation ongoing about.
Good. Thank you for continuing to champion that. Madam Clerk? All right, seeing nothing else for the good and order, I'll entertain a motion for approval to adjourn and support, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Commissioner DeShane, Commissioner Chase, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, we stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.